All concerned bodies, particularly the people of Tigray, aren't willing any breach of peace and movement that goes against the Pretoria Peace Accord, as it can be deducted from the opinions and comments that they have been forwarding. Nobody wants a breach of a hope which sparkled from the skies of South Africa in November 12, 2022 to halt the bloody conflict in the northern Ethiopia. It's recalled that the African Union brokered the Pretoria Agreement of Cessation of Hostilities, which was signed by the federal government of Ethiopia and that of the Tigray People's Liberation Front.
It is now for all of us to honor this agreement. We must be true to the letter and the spirit of this agreement. The people of Ethiopia expected more than the text of this agreement. They demand peace and harmony. They desire development. They have charted a promising and bright future.
Despite the adverse process, the actual negotiation for truce began on October 25 and extended until November 12, 2022, which finally ended up in signing of a document that's known as the Pretoria Permanent Cessation of Hostilities Agreement. The agreement conveyed a huge meaning to the international community as well, not only confined to those affected by its immediate reverberations. As to the opinions of the majority, the agreement shall be considered an immense step in the modern day's history of the nation. It avoided the application of armed power to end disagreements and enabled the sophisticated practice of seeking peace in peaceful means, as it was witnessed.
Pretoria is part and parcel of the cultural shift. It conveyed a message of insignificance of culminating a disagreement that saw a conflict in its commencement as a very good victory.
A few days after the signing of the Pretoria Peace Agreement, officials of the federal government of Ethiopia and military officers of TPLF met in Nairobi to discuss on the implementation process of the Pretoria Accord. They agreed on disarmament of the TPLF fighters, which was part of the original agreement. On December 26, 2022, the federal government delegation, which was spearheaded by the House Speaker Taggese Chafo, that comprised senior officials and experts, visited the Tigray region in order to launch the beginning of vital services that queued rendering services due to the conflict.
We have 18 officers from the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia. The airport professionals are dealing with the airlines facility right now. All of them are here. Everyone took flight to Mekelle without any hesitation.
Regarding the then swift action of the federal government, the interim president of Tigray Regional State, Getachew Reda, applauded the move.
Truly speaking, the immediate bold response of the federal government to deploy a delegation packed with professionals and experts really deserve appreciation.
In the aftermath of the visit paid by the federal government officials to Mekelle, the regional capital of Tigray region, the Ethiopian Airlines says its regular flight to the city.
When we assumed the flight again, main citizens reignited relations with their brothers, sisters and parents as well. This action by itself is a big contribution. It's hoped to strengthen the already started peace process.
Following the airline's move, Ethio Telecom has made its immediate moves of bringing back the functioning of telecommunications on December 28, 2022 in the region. Mekelle and the surrounding areas restarted using the telecommunications services.
We assumed efforts to bringing back the telecommunication services and maintenance of damaged aspects. We have been trying to render the power supply and succeeded in making the first ever call after the conflict in Mekelle. We successfully launched calls to and from Mekelle.
The 12 articles long treaty of the peace agreement has halted the war conflict in the region and its vicinity, as well as paved ways to address the humanitarian issues wherever and whenever needed. Following the deal, movement of citizens from place to place and supply of humanitarian services seen a surge in the region. Areas of the region most vulnerable to the conflict started to rehabilitate as a result.
Due to the Pretoria Agreement, ceasefire is entertained. No more fatalities due to war conflict. The injured citizens are having medical treatments. Families began to reunite. People began to move from places to places which weren't suitable to do so previously. The detained individuals are freed. Employees seized back their jobs. Electricity, banking, airlines, telecommunications, and other numerous services began rendering business as usual.
It's recalled that the major peace broker between the federal government and the TPLF, the African Union Commission, said the truce and the general peace agreement signed between the two parties is an iconic reference to the other parties in conflict within the continent of Africa that is possible to resolve African problems with African solutions. Yet, the federal government of Ethiopia is firmly committed to solve the resurging situation in the Tigray region in the round-table discussions and negotiations before the devil gets out of the barrel, it was learned.